will be the first to admit that live streaming can be very expensive. And I'm not just talking about the equipment. When you think about the infrastructure that needs to be in place to use the equipment, and then training the individuals that you'll have running the equipment that you purchase, it can seem daunting and overwhelming. So in today's video, I am going to share the ultimate guide to church live streaming on a budget. And when I say budget, I mean like a real budget for small churches. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this one. Welcome back, everybody. It is your girl, Coach Cheryl. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I want you to go ahead and do that. In this channel, we provide tips, tools, and strategies to help make social media and online ministry super duper easy for small churches, ministries, nonprofits, and Christian entrepreneurs. So if that sounds like content that you would enjoy, I want you to go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the family. Remember at the beginning of the pandemic when we were all racing and struggling, especially as small churches who had never live streamed before, trying to figure out how we could do it, how we could afford it. So what we as a small church did was we, number one, prayed and asked for the basic bare minimum things that we needed to do to show up online for our members professionally. And with the help of God, He took our little and made it much. And He showed us these 3 areas that we needed to focus on to show up online in budget and professionally. And those are the 3 things that I am going to share with you today, because I want you to know that any small church, and I do mean any small church, can live stream on a budget by just using your genius and your ingenuity and with the help of the people that are in your congregation. Number 1 is a camera. And so I know you may be thinking, well, Cheryl, you said it was going to be affordable. What do you mean a camera? We can't afford a camera. But what most people in your church have is a phone. Yes, a phone. Whether it's an iPhone, whether it's an Android, a phone is the number 1 thing that I advise small churches to begin with. Because phones, as we know them now, have some of the best cameras. So that is $0 to your budget. Find someone, if you don't have one in your church, that has the latest, greatest iPhone, or even from iPhone 8s on up, or that has the greatest Samsung phone with really good cameras, and start there. You can use those phones to get great picture quality. I will use a caveat here. Make sure that when you're using your phone for live streaming, that you use the back camera of the phone. Don't use the front facing camera, the one, our little selfie cams that we take our pictures. Don't use that. Use the back camera, because it is the best camera to actually do it from. And when you're using that camera, be sure to put it on a tripod. Don't have somebody holding that. Don't have it set up on books. You want it to stream professionally without moving, without shaking, without falling mid-service. So invest in a really good tripod. You can get tripods on Amazon for $30 to $50. So that is very expensive. So a phone and a tripod. That's the number 1 tip to keep your live streaming affordable. The second thing we're going to talk about to live stream on a budget is sound. Sound is so important. I would almost say that sound kind of eclipses your camera, because people will watch a service with less camera quality if they can hear good over watching a beautiful visual when they can't hear. So make sure that your sound is good. Most churches already have sound systems, soundboards, PA systems. So what I would suggest to add to that when you're live streaming is a sound interface, like the Scarlett, like the Personas. So check in the description box. I'm going to link a couple of interfaces that are popular, that work really well. Now, these interfaces can cost between $100 to $300, but if you have musicians in your congregation, they likely already have one. And if you are nice, they may be willing, able to be encouraged to let the church use it until the church can afford to purchase one of their own. So sound is the next thing. And if you already have a digital soundboard, you won't even need an interface because you're already ready to go. So sound is number 2. Does your church live stream? If so, I want you to put the name of your church in the comments so that we can visit and support one another. Us small churches, we have to stick together. So remember, drop the name of your church and maybe even a link to one of your services so that we can support you too. And last, but certainly not least, in our list of must-haves for live streaming on a budget is lighting. Lighting is so very important. There's nothing as discouraging watching a live stream when you can't really see faces, you can't really see people. So I would encourage your church to, even before you invest in studio lighting that you have installed in your church, just to buy some really good studio lights that you can travel with, that you can move around. And so I know when our church started, this is the lighting system that we got. It's the newer 990 bicolor lighting system that allows you to adjust the light, to adjust the white balance in it. So those are some really, really good lights. I'm also going to link that in the description box. So I hope that you have enjoyed our rundown of the must-have, the ultimate guide to church live streaming on a budget, like a real budget. And if your church needs more tools to show up powerfully on social media, I want you to grab my new freebie. It is 10 unbeatable social media post ideas for small churches. The link to get it is in my description box, so make sure that you grab that. Did I mention it's free? So be sure to go ahead and head on into that description box and get that freebie today. It's going to help take the guesswork of what to post on social media every week. I promise you, it's going to bless you. And if you are looking for ways to up-level your live stream with software, I did a video comparing these two software options, so be sure to check that out next week, comparing Ecamm Live and StreamYard, two wonderful live streaming options. So check it out and see which one I like the best, or find out which one you like the best and use it for you. I so appreciate having you here, and if you haven't already liked this video, I'm going to ask you to do that. It's going to let me know the content that you enjoy, and it's also going to let YouTube know the content that you enjoy. So before you leave, go ahead and smash that like button. Also hit that subscribe button so that you can see me on next week.